In Madden 26, I had the most viewed video on YouTube breaking down the Jaguars offense, which was the best offense in the game. With comments like these, it's clear that video helped a ton of people win more games. So I knew I had to come to College Football 27 with some heat, and the most complete offense by far is the California playbook. Let's break it down. All right, boys, this is our California offense. By far the most complete offense in the game. I haven't found anything that's been able to give me the balance that California has. In terms of running and passing, being able to stretch the field vertically, dink and dunk down the field, and then, like I said, run the ball, be efficient in the red zone, all that stuff. California is absolutely the best. So the first thing we're going to do is set our auto pass protection to base, and then we're going to come down here to pistol deuce close. We're going to hit our right stick to the left twice. This package is going to make it possible for us to formation shift from pistol deuce close to all of our shotgun formations, the bunches, the tight open, the normal wide off close, all the stuff that we're going to want to run while still making our opponent respect that we might run the ball out of pistol deuce close. Once we get to the formation we want to run, we're just going to hit our right stick to the left again, and then that's going to allow us to formation shift from pistol deuce close to whatever we want to run. We're going to start in what's been most effective for me, and that's just tight open. So you see, as soon as I hit X, it's going to formation shift us into tight open. And this first play is motion spot Y post. We've got a flat route with square, we have a sharp cutting corner with triangle, and we have a sharp cutting post with X. So this play is going to be really easy to set up. We're just going to put circle on a drag, and then we're going to read square, triangle, X, circle. So if we have that, we don't have the flat, we kind of have that corner route, able to get that completed. We're kind of able to attack the field at every part. We'll get the post this time. So those two routes, the corner and the post, are really good at beating man. And if you play College Football 27, you know that's kind of the meta right now. So if we can beat man, we're going to be in a good spot. We kind of had the drag there, terrible throw. We had to step on that guy. But this play is going to attack everywhere. And it's good versus man or zone. Because if they don't play hard flats, which we're still getting man every play, but if we get a coverage where they don't play hard flats, our flat route is going to be wide open. And that's going to be something important, is just taking these flats, because you see we kind of just throw that and get 9 yards really easily. So you just want to really be patient and just move down the field efficiently by taking the easy stuff. Our tight end was wide open, we get the drag there. But this play is kind of what I start every game with, just kind of feeling my opponent out. The next play is going to be mesh crossers. You see we're starting out formation shifted from pistol deuce close again. To set this up, we're just going to put one of these receivers that are on drags on a streak. So it can be square or circle. Either one of these guys, we're going to put them on a streak. As mostly just a clear out. This is man, which is perfect. You see those crossers? They're really unique. They kind of get super, they get vertical and then they get super flat. So those are going to be really good at beating man from that tight end and the triangle receiver. They're also pretty good against zone, especially if you throw it to the side with the drag. The drag is going to pull down a lot of zones, and that's going to leave your crosser open. And if the zones play the crosser, then obviously you just take the drag. Here we get man. We're able to really throw whatever we want because of those unique crossing routes. Our next play is going to be motion flood H choice. This is really good against man. It's really good against people are trying to do the point combo stuff with their coaching adjustments. This really takes advantage of that, because when he comes across the field, when your motion comes across the field, it's going to switch the guy on the slot fade and the guy on the motion. And a lot of times that inside corner is not able to get back to that slot fade, and he's going to go and score. So all we're going to do is put triangle on a post and stem him all the way down. We're going to put X on a drag, and then we're going to block our running back, and then we'll just snap the ball. We're always going to read this flat first, this little out route. It's not open, but our drag is wide open, and that's even against zone. I don't call this a lot against zone, but you definitely can. Like I said, it's going to be better against that point combo adjustment with man coverage. Next, we're going to call PA scissors. PA scissors has 3 routes that are going to beat your opponent deep with any kind of man coverage. And you'll see a trend. Everything that we're doing is mostly to combat man, because man is so good and is really the meta right now. If you play online, you're going to face someone playing man 9 times out of 10. And so to beat those guys, we got to have these unique routes that kind of break in different ways or cross and get guys kind of hung up. And this play in particular really does that. So all we're going to do is block our running back and stem triangle, X, and circle all the way down, just so that they cut a little quicker. And someone is going to get open just about every play against man, because on the right side, they're rubbing at this on this corner route and this post, they're going to rub. And then this route from triangle is just really unique and really just gets upfield in an odd way that is hard to defend. We got our drag there. That's another thing. This play has a stock drag, so you can kind of just snap it as quick as possible. Just block your running back, stem everything down. That's another good thing about the formation shifts, is you can hot route as quickly as possible when we formation shift. But you can see you literally can't guard this play in man. This is really going to make them get out of that. And then you'll get into the zone and you'll be able to kind of use some of the other setups and win that way. The next play is slot post. This play is going to be really good against zone. What we're going to do is stem triangle all the way down on his post and put circle on our flat route. And then we're just going to snap it. And if it's zone, you'll see that running back gets in a really tight spot over there. He drops the ball. But he gets in a really good spot with that flat route. And then we've also got a post over the middle. This is man. So that post can beat man. You mostly are going to want to call this when you know they're in zone though, because they're going to have to pick between the flat route and the running back. We've also got the drag, which is going to 1, beat man, and 2, it's going to pull mid zones. So if he has a vert hook on the right where that running back is, it's not going to be able to play the running back because of that drag. Next, we're going to look at normal Y off close. This formation was really popular in Madden 25. It kind of went away in Madden 26, but it's 100% back for Madden 27 and College Football 27. The play we're going over first is motion angle Y wheel. All you're going to do is put triangle on a post and block the running back. This is going to be one of the few beaters that we actually have. And you'll see that if we step up in the pocket, we have time. We don't have time, but you can see circle is getting wide open. Because that middle third is not really going to pick between circle and triangle. So they're kind of both going to get open. If we get time here, we do, and he's wide open. Next, we're going to run Y sail. For Y sail, we're just going to put triangle on a drag and stem X all the way down. And then we're going to read our running back first. If we have the running back on the flat, we're going to take it. A lot of times we'll get that block on that corner and we'll have a lot of yards. This plays really good against man and zone. The tight end fries man on this stem down corner. Maybe we'll get man. We didn't. We got some kind of weird match. But that short corner from the tight end is really hard to stop. He's going to probably have to switch stick to stop that, and the running back on the flat. And then we also have a backside drag, which we should have thrown the running back there. But we've got a backside drag. And then we also have this backside dig. Then the last play we'll do for normal Y off close is going to be PA snag. All we're going to do is put triangle on a streak, put X on a drag, and put circle on a zig. And we'll keep the play action. And you'll see this is man. So we'll have our posts over the middle. Post routes are the easiest way to beat man this year. They really just are the best way to do it. And then against zone, if we get zone here, you'll see it's going to be hard to stop this. This is man again. We'll get the tight end drag wide open. But against zone, it's going to be really hard to stop the post, the drag, and the return. The streak is mostly just for a clear out. This is man again, or maybe that's match. Regardless, against zone, it's going to be really hard to stop all of those routes going over the middle. Next, we'll go over tight doubles. Tight doubles was super popular last year. Again, formation shifting. We're going to put triangle on a drag, X on a streak, circle on a slot fade, and then we're going to stem square up once. So we've got this running back sneak route. That's going to be really hard to stop in man or zone. Why is Bo Jackson just dropping the ball? But that running back sneak route is going to be really hard to stop. He's going to have a hard flat over there. And then we're also going to have this streak right here that can get in a good spot as we green catch. Really the best route on this field though is probably that post. That post is really sharp, so he's going to get wide open against man. We beat him there. You just kind of get a throw out a sack. But yeah, this plays really good against man and zone, because it's going to make them have to play certain zones to stop you, as well as that post is always going to beat man, so they have to use that, which is going to then open up your drag and your running back flat route. Next we'll run flood. Flood is only really good against man, but it's a super quick and easy setup. We're just going to stem triangle down once and then block our running back, and you'll see that that triangle that corner from triangle is really sharp, and a lot of times it's going to rub with that streak just because of where it cuts when you stem it down once, and they're gonna really have trouble to guard those two. He was open again. I didn't throw it. But yeah, that corner route is really what we're gonna look to throw. And then you've also got an in route from your tight end, which will get open. And you've got a drag from circle. So just a bunch of routes on the field that beat man. Like I said, the trend is man. And we're trying to beat it, and this offense is really the best for that. You see he's wide open again, but that in route is really frying man too. So you can kind of use all the routes on the field to beat man. This is one of the best man beating plays in the game. The last play for tight doubles is going to be cross wheels. This play was super popular last year. The best way to set it up is just put triangle on a streak. It's really better against zone. We get man there. That streak sometimes will beat man. But really we're gonna want to run this against zone, because what we're trying to throw is actually square on that flat. He's on a wheel, but if you throw it quick on the flat route, he will get a pretty good rack animation. He'll be able to get upfield for a bunch of yards. We do have a crosser and a drag that can beat man. So it's not like this play's terrible against man. It's pretty good in general. We're getting nothing but man. Sometimes your wheel can beat man, and then obviously against like cover 2 and stuff, that wheel can be really, really good. But most of the time you're going to want to run this against, when you know that they're in zone. Next we'll go over Y off trio close weak. This formation was actually just called Y off trio close last year. It was very, very good. It was also in the Jags playbook. Those setups still apply. What I like to do this year is just put R1 on a drag, and that's it. Then we're going to read the circle route. He's wide open. I threw it late. But that out route is really, really good against man. You've also got a zig from your tight end that's going to be really tough to stop. A lot of zigs run slow this year. This one runs pretty quickly. And then you've also got a drag. Obviously, drag against man is easy. And then you've got an in route that you can hit late that's going to be really tough against man and zone. If you just wait, it gets in a pretty good spot. If you want to open that up some more, you can also just put R1 on a streak, and then you're going to be more likely to get that corner, or not corner, I'm sorry, that in route open, because of the clear out from R1. Next we'll look at motion fork dagger, another play that really stresses man. All we're going to do is stem square all the way down and put R1 on a streak. This corner route, this motion corner route, is really good against man. A lot of times it's just going to fry, and it's also going to rub with that kind of weird post route that square runs, and that's going to leave him wide open a lot of times. Something else, that weird post gets 2 cuts. He's doubled on this play, but he beats his actual man. That play is really hard to stop. That route is actually good against zone as well. Then we've got a quick flat route from our running back. That's going to be hard to stop against man. We could get a good ball carrier move, get upfield. And then lastly, we've got our zig from our tight end. Obviously, zigs are good. I think this one is a little bit slower than the one from, yes, you see how it runs just a little slower than the other one. But it's not bad. It's just kind of like an extra route. Really, we're looking to throw this corner route or the post. Next, we'll go to bunch tight end. In bunch tight end, the first play we're going to look at is cheat tight end hitch halfback seam. This play's really only good against zone. What we're going to do is put X on a streak, put triangle on a post, and put square on a return. We'll read our motion wheel first. If we don't get that, we'll go to the tight end, then to the running back. That running back gets open late a lot of times just because the streaks, the motion wheel and the tight end streak are going to pull all the zones. That's just going to leave the running back wide open. And then after, if those aren't open, we'll have our post over the middle late, and then we'll also have our return route that is going to be really good against zone, really good to kind of just wait it out and get that return route open. We'll see if we can do that here. You see it's wide open because of all the routes just clearing out for it. Next, we'll look at motion divide. This play was really good out of bunch tight end week last year. Really good once again this year. What we're going to do is stem R1 down once, put circle, which is our tight end, on a streak, and put X on a flat, or a drag, I'm sorry. And then we will block our running back. And you'll see that this post is really sharp. He's double teamed for some reason. That post is really sharp and really good against man. Something else you could probably do if you're thinking it could be zone, we can also put square on a return, and this is going to give us options against man and zone. This is man once again. That was a good defense, but yeah, so we can do that and put him on a return, and that'll help us to be better against some zone. Next, we'll look at bunch strong nasty. This formation is really popular this year, a lot more than years past. I think it's really good. I've had a lot of success audibling over to this. For the first setup in Dagger, we're just going to put R1 on our deep cross and just snap the ball. So it's a really good quick snap play. It's really good against man, really good against zone. That deep cross is going to take a lot of his attention, which is going to leave some of these middle routes wide open. Our drag is going to get open, and then that in route from the tight end is really good against man. He kind of cuts twice. And it kind of is really hard to stop out of man. Our next setup is going to be R1 on a deep cross, X on a drag, and circle on an in route. This kind of looks weird on paper, but honestly, the spacing is really good, as well as that crosser is going to pull zones, and then that's going to leave our in route with nobody left to guard it. I really like this on like 3rd and 4, 4th and 4. Gotta have it. This is going to be tough to stop. It's a lot to user. In the last setup for Dagger, we're still going to put R1 on a crosser and X on a drag, but we're going to put circle on a slant, and we're actually going to motion snap him to the right. That is going to really open up that middle of the field. Just having a little more delay and a little more space between those guys, it's going to be really hard to stop. We're motioning the wrong guy. It's going to be really hard to stop. He's going to have to use the slant, which is going to leave a lot of this other stuff wide open. Next, we'll go over Y flat quick. This play, if you remember, circle used to be on that little speed out that X is on. This play came out last year. And it was really good. They had to nerf it because it was just broken. But once again, it's very, very good. That out route's really good. So all we're going to do is put R1 on a drag and circle on a slot fade, and then we'll deep cross on square. And you'll see that route from X is just going to fry any kind of man coverage. Short field situations, down by the goal line, all that kind of stuff. I really like that route because it's super quick and really hard to stop. They got to have some zones out there for it, or it's just going to get fried. And then if they're in zone, we got a drag, we got a clear out, slot fade, and we have a deep cross. So this play is going to be really hard to stop in those short yardage situations. The last play is going to be wide trail. Wide trail is really good against man and zone. The setup is going to be R1 stemmed all the way down, and then triangle on a flat route. This is setup number 1. But we've got a bunch of routes right here that kind of work together. The post, the drag, and the trail route all work together over the middle of the field. And then R1 on the short corner and triangle on the flat kind of work together on the right side of the field for that high-low. The last formation we'll go over is trips tight end. It's been good for a while. You know, that's not different this year. First play we'll go over is curl flat. Our only setup for curl flat, we're just going to put X on a streak. And then we're just going to read the quick stuff first. The good thing about this play is we got a sharp cut in post, and we've got a stock Texas route. That stock Texas route is going to beat man. A lot of times that post is really good against man. And then we do have a curl and a flat on the left side. That curl can beat man. I ready to catch. The next play is going to be drive post. Drive post got really popular last year. All we're going to do is put X on a streak and R1 on a flat. And then once again, we're just going to read the short stuff. I really like this play in like 4th and short, 4th and medium, because we're able to attack in a bunch of ways. And the post and that first drag are going to clear a lot out, and it'll leave that backside drag open for some run after catch. So if I got like 4th and 8, then I'm probably calling this play, and I'm just going to let that backside drag get open, or the post get open. One of those two things has to be open on the play. And then after that, I'm just going to run and get that first down. The next play is going to be PA counter go. This play was super popular, maybe Madden 21, Madden 22, around that time. But crossers have been nerfed for a few years. This year, they're really good. What we're going to do is put X on a streak, put triangle on a drag, and put square on an in route and stem him up twice. And then we'll keep the play action. And you'll see just all the stuff you get over the middle makes this play really hard to stop. That backside late in route is really hard to stop. It's one of the most annoying things in the game, because all this other stuff is going to take all of our mid zones. And if it doesn't, we just throw it. But most likely this stuff is going to be taken by our mid zones, and then that's going to leave that backside dig wide open. The last play is verticals. Verticals is really only good against zone. You can run against man. That tight end corner will beat man. And then you've got some streak routes that are going to probably, depends on the matchup, but may get open, especially if they're shaded down. And then we're going to put R1 on a Texas, and that can also beat man, but mostly we're going to want to throw this against zone, because there's just a lot of clear outs that are going to make it really hard for everything to be covered. A lot of times this is man. You'll see, like I said, that tight end corner beats man. Bad throw. Yeah, this play is going to be really mostly good against zone. Like that middle receiver gets open a lot against man, or I'm sorry, against cover 3, cover 2, cover 4. It's just a really hard route to stop. This is cover 4. This play will bomb cover 4 sometimes. Kind of depends on the alignment, but this play is really good against all kinds of zones. The last thing I want to talk about is this like short yardage and goal to go situations. Most of what we're going to do is try to run the ball. Like I said, the run is really good this year. So once I get inside the 10-15 yard line, I'm going to start trying to run the ball most of the time. Because number one, it's hard to stop, and number two, it gets really hard to pass down here, like true passing. I do have a couple plays I'll go over for that, but mostly we're going to try to run and throw RPOs. And this pistol deuce close halfback dive is one of the best runs in the game. It's almost a guaranteed 5 yards. But if I can't run, I'm still going to come out in formation shift. I'm going to go to Y off trips, and I'm going to run RPO read Y flat. And that flat route is one of the toughest RPOs to stop in the game. For actual passing down here, we're going to go to Y off trio weak. We're going to run quick fork zig for this delayed slant from circle. So we're going to put R1 on a flat, put X on a slant, and put triangle on a Texas. And then this delayed slant is really hard to stop. It's better against zone than man, which in the red zone, a lot of guys are just playing like cover 2 shaded down. But if we get zone, you'll see that gets in a really tough spot. This play was good last year too. But they basically have to use it. No zone plays that. Because that flat route's going to take any kind of flat zone. And then the tight end slant is going to take any mid zone. And that's going to leave that wide open just about every single time. This is probably my favorite actual passing play in the red zone. Then another play that was really popular last year is whips out of bunch tight end. All we're going to do to set this up is put triangle on a flat and put... and stem square all the way down. You'll see these zig routes kind of sit between the zones, and they score a lot of times. I think quick fork zig is a little easier to make that read, because most of the time that is just going to be wide open. But you'll see against zone especially, these zigs are going to do a really good job because of these other routes that are pulling zones away. This is man. You see that zig's going to fry man right there. All right, fellas, that's going to be it for the California offense in College Football 27. I do have the Google Doc down below in the description. That way you have all these setups written down. If you have any questions or feedback, please leave it down below. Let me know what else you guys want to see. And it's been your boy. I'm out. See y'all.